Section 1 from the book of Genesis. Now Sarai, Avram's wife, bore him no children. She had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. Sarai said to Avram, "See now, for everyone has restrained me from bearing. Please go in to my handmaid. It may be that I will obtain children by her." Avram listened to the voice of Sarai. Sarai, Avram's wife, took Hagar the Egyptian, her handmaid, after Abram had lived 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to Avram, her husband, to be his wife. He went in to Hagar, and she conceived. When she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. Sarai said to Avram, "This wrong is your fault. I gave my handmaid into your bosom, and when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. May for everyone judge between me and you." But Avram said to Sarai, "Behold, your maid is in your hand. Do to her whatever is good in your eyes." Sarai dealt harshly with her, and she fled from her face. The angel of Forever One found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain on the way to Shur. He said, "Hagar, Sarai's handmaid, where did you come from? Where are you going?" She said, "I am fleeing from the face of my mistress Sarai." The angel of Forever One said to her, "Return to your mistress and submit yourself under her hands." The angel of Forever One said to her, "I will greatly multiply your offspring, that they will not be counted for multitude." The angel of Forever One said to her, "Behold, you are with child, and will bear a son. You shall call his name Ishmael, because Forever One has heard your affliction. He will be like a wild donkey among men. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. He will live in opposition to all of his brothers." She called the name of Forever One who spoke to her, "You are a God who sees." For she said, "Have I even stayed alive after seeing him?" Therefore the well was called Be'er Lahai Roi. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. Hagar bore a son for Avram. Avram called the name of his son whom Hagar bore Ishmael. Avram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Avram. Section 2 from the book of Joshua. To the families of the children of Merari, the rest of the Levites, out of the tribe of Zebulun, Jokneam with its suburbs, Karta with its suburbs, Dimnah with its suburbs, and Nahalal with its suburbs, 4 cities. Out of the tribe of Reuven, Bezer with its suburbs, Jahaz with its suburbs, Kedemoth with its suburbs, and Mephaath with its suburbs, 4 cities. Out of the tribe of Gad, Ramoth in Gilead, with its suburbs, the city of refuge for the manslayer, and Mahanaim with its suburbs, Heshbon with its suburbs, Jazer with its suburbs, 4 cities in all. All these were the cities of the children of Merari, according to their families, even the rest of the families of the Levites. Their lot was 12 cities. All the cities of the Levites in the midst of the possession of the children of Israel were 48 cities with their suburbs. Each of these cities included their suburbs around them. It was this way with all these cities. So Forever One gave to Israel all the land which he swore to give to their fathers. They possessed it and lived in it. Forever One gave them rest all around, according to all that he swore to their fathers. Not a man of all their enemies stood before them. Forever One delivered all their enemies into their hand. Nothing failed of any good thing which Forever One had spoken to the house of Israel. All came to pass. Then Joshua called the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, and said to them, "You have kept all that Moses the servant of Forever One commanded you, and have listened to my voice in all that I commanded you. You have not left your brothers these many days to this day, but have performed the duty of the commandment of Forever One your God. Now Forever One your God has given rest to your brothers, as he spoke to them. Therefore, now return and go to your tents. to the land of your possession, which Moses the servant of Forever One gave you beyond the Jordan. Only take diligent heed to do the commandment and the law which Moses the servant of Forever One commanded you, to love Forever One your God, to walk in all his ways, to keep his commandments, to hold fast to him, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. So Joshua blessed them and sent them away, and they went to their tents. Now to the one half tribe Manasseh Moses had given inheritance in Bashan, but to the other half gave Joshua among their brothers beyond the Jordan westward. Moreover, when Joshua sent them away to their tents, he blessed them and spoke to them, saying, Return with much wealth to your tents, with very much livestock, with silver, with gold, with brass, with iron, and with very much clothing. Divide the spoil of your enemies with your brothers. The children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh returned and departed from the children of Israel out of Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan, to go to the land of Gilead, to the land of their possession, which they owned, according to the commandment of Forever One by Moses. When they came to the region about the Jordan, that is the land of Canaan, the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh built there an altar by the Jordan, a great altar to look at. The children of Israel heard this. Behold, the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh have built an altar in the forefront of the land of Canaan, in the region about the Jordan, on the side that pertains to the children of Israel. When the children of Israel heard of it, the whole congregation of the children of Israel gathered themselves together at Shiloh to go up against them to war. The children of Israel sent to the children of Reuben and to the children of Gad and to the half-tribe of Manasseh into the land of Gilead. Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest, and with him 10 princes, 1 prince of a father's house for each of the tribes of Israel, and they were every one of them head of their fathers' houses among the thousands of Israel. Section 3, from the first book of Chronicles. Certain of them were in charge of the vessels of service, for by count were these brought in, and by count were these taken out. Some of them also were appointed over the furniture, and over all the vessels of the sanctuary, and over the fine flour, and the wine, and the oil, and the frankincense, and the spices. Some of the sons of the priests prepared the confection of the spices. Mattithiah, one of the Levites, who was the firstborn of Shallum the Korahite, had the office of trust over the things that were baked in pans. Some of their brothers of the sons of the Kohathites were over the showbread, to prepare it every Sabbath. These are the singers, heads of fathers' houses of the Levites, who lived in the rooms and were free from other service, for they were employed in their work day and night. These were heads of fathers' houses of the Levites throughout their generations, chief men. These lived at Jerusalem. In Gibeon there lived the father of Gibeon, Jael, whose wife's name was Maacah, and his firstborn son Abdon, and Zur, and Kish, and Baal, and Ner, and Nadav, and Gedor, and Ahio, and Zechariah, and Mikloth. Mikloth became the father of Shimeam. They also lived with their brothers in Jerusalem, over against their brothers. Ner became the father of Kish, and Kish became the father of Saul, and Saul became the father of Jonathan, and Malchishua, and Aminadav, and Eshbaal. The son of Jonathan was Merib-Baal, and Merib-Baal became the father of Micah. The sons of Micah were Pithon, Melech, Tareah, and Ahaz. Ahaz became the father of Jarah, and Jarah became the father of Alameth, and Asmaveth, and Zimri. And Zimri became the father of Moza, and Moza became the father of Binea, and Raphiah his son, Eleazar his son, Azel his son. Azel had 6 sons, whose names are these: Azrikam, Bocheru, and Ishmael, and Sheariah, and Obadiah, and Hanan. These were the sons of Azel. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines, and fell down slain on Mount Gilboa. The Philistines followed hard after Saul and after his sons, and the Philistines killed Jonathan and Abinadab and Malchishua, the sons of Saul. The battle went hard against Saul, and the archers overtook him, and he was distressed by reason of the archers. Then Saul said to his armor-bearer, "Draw your sword, and thrust me through with it, lest these uncircumcised come and abuse me." But his armor-bearer would not, for he was terrified. Therefore Saul took his sword and fell on it. When his armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he likewise fell on his sword and died. So Saul died, and his 3 sons, and all his house died together. When all the men of Israel who were in the valley saw that they fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, they forsook their cities and fled, and the Philistines came and lived in them. Section 4, from the book of Matthew. She, being prompted by her mother, said, "Give me here on a platter the head of John the Baptizer." The king was grieved, but for the sake of his oaths, and of those who sat at the table with him, he commanded it to be given, and he sent and beheaded John in the prison. His head was brought on a platter and given to the young lady, and she brought it to her mother. His disciples came, took the body and buried it. Then they went and told Jesus. Now when Jesus heard this, he withdrew from there in a boat to a deserted place apart. When the multitudes heard it, they followed him on foot from the cities. Jesus went out, and he saw a great multitude. He had compassion on them, and healed their sick. When evening had come, his disciples came to him, saying, "This place is deserted, and the hour is already late. Send the multitudes away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves food." But Jesus said to them, "They don't need to go away. You give them something to eat." They told him, "We only have here 5 loaves and 2 fish. He said, "Bring them here to me." He commanded the multitudes to sit down on the grass. And he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he blessed, broke, and gave the loaves to the disciples, and the disciples gave to the multitudes. They all ate and were filled. They took up 12 baskets full of that which remained left over from the broken pieces. Those who ate were about 5,000 men, in addition to women and children. Immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him to the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. After he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into the mountain by himself to pray. When evening had come, he was there alone. But the boat was now in the middle of the sea, distressed by the waves, for the wind was contrary. In the 4th watch of the night, Jesus came to them, walking on the sea. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, "It's a ghost!" And they cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Cheer up, it is I. Don't be afraid." Peter answered him and said, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the waters." He said, "Come." Peter stepped down from the boat and walked on the waters to come to Jesus. But when he saw that the wind was strong, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, saying, "Lord, save me!" Immediately Jesus stretched out his hand, took hold of him, and said to him, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" When they got up into the boat, the wind ceased. Those who were in the boat came and worshipped him, saying, "You are truly the Son of God."